Story recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a mystery, thriller, and sci-fi film called Mute. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. As a child, Leo Byler had suffered from a swimming accident that severely damaged his larynx. The doctor tells his Amish mother that she might be able to save Leo's voice, but the religious parent refuses an operation, arguing that God will heal her son. By 2035, Leo still clings to some of his Amish roots and avoids the use of technology. He has taken up wood carving and drawing as a hobby while working as a bartender at a Berlin strip club at night. Before going to work one night, he goes on a date with his girlfriend Nadira, who works as a cocktail waitress at the same bar. While enjoying their meal, she gives him an outdated phone to help him communicate. Nadira asserts that the device would make things easier for them. After Leo manages to turn the phone on, Nadira shows him how to activate the camera and make a video. When the footage shows up on the monitors around them, Leo tries to take the phone and hide his face. Nadira tells him to stop hiding because he's beautiful, calling him to Stargotora, the black of her eyes. At the bar, Leo tosses a small spherical wood carving to Nadira. She says it's the best she has seen, but she asks him to make something more elaborate, like a seahorse. While she's serving drinks, two rude customers start harassing her, so Luba urges her to take a break with him. Outside the bar, Luba asks her how much money she has saved so far. When she says she still doesn't have enough, he asks her why Leo isn't helping. Nadira tells him that Leo has no idea why she's saving up money. Back inside the bar, Stu, the man harassing Nadira, has become more aggressive and attempts to shove some money in her dress. Leo witnesses the incident and drags Stu to the bathroom. While Nadira begs him to let the customer go, another man arrives to help Stu. Nadira breaks up the fight and tells Leo to calm down because she can't afford to lose her job. Leo soon simmers down and lets the bouncers deal with the rude customers. After the bouncers escort Stu and his friend Rob out of the bar, Nadira receives a call. She writes down an address on her hand, so Leo offers his scratch pad. Maxim, the bar owner, calls Leo to his office and warns him that he'll get fired if he ever stirs up trouble for him again. While Leo tries to get some sleep, he hears someone talking outside his apartment. When he opens the door, he sees Nadira sitting on the floor. Nadira says she needs to tell him about someone in her life. Leo starts to worry, so she assures him that she's not leaving him. Leo uses the scratch pad to say that nothing else is important as long as she's with him. As they relax inside Leo's apartment, Nadira notices him drawing on his scratch pad, so she asks if she could take a look. Leo shows her a design of a bed and takes her to his workshop so she can see the parts that he already finished. Nadira says that it looks like something from a fairy tale. Nadira tells Leo that she loves him so much, but she's worried because there are things he still doesn't know about her. As Nadira walks out of the workshop, Leo stops her and kisses her, silently assuring her that he loves her no matter what. Leo makes love with Nadira at the workshop, but when he wakes up in the morning, she's no longer with him. Elsewhere, Cactus Bill and his partner Duck perform surgery on a man who was shot in the leg with a revolver. After removing 5 bullets, Cactus tells Duck to sew up the victim's leg. Cactus, who is eager to leave Germany, hints to Maxim's thug, Akim, that he will be gone soon, so they have to avoid getting shot next time. Akim tells him that Maxim is still preparing his documents, but he's having some difficulties because Cactus has gone AWOL. While Leo eats at a diner, Cactus recognizes him as the bartender at Maxim's bar. Cactus recalls that he fought with Stu and Rob some nights ago, so he warns Leo not to fight with them again because he needs their help to get out of Germany. Leo ignores his demand and leaves him with a drawing of his face with a willy on his forehead. When Leo goes to work again that night, Nadira is nowhere to be found. As he looks around the bar, Luba also asks him where Nadira is. The manager introduces Leo to a man named Nicky, notifying him that he drinks for free because he runs Makeham's business across the street. While he prepares Nicky's drink, Stu and Rob order 2 vodkas and tells him there are no hard feelings about their spat. However, Leo gets irked when Stu makes suggestive comments about Nadira, so he throws a bottle of vodka on Stu's face. Leo then jumps over the bar and charges at Stu and his friend. During the scuffle, Leo accidentally hits a waitress with his elbow. While Leo is distracted, Stu slams a table on his face. After the fight, Maxim tells Leo that he's fired. At home, Leo uses the phone to contact Nadira but receives no reply. He takes a picture of Nadira out of the frame and leaves the apartment. As Leo roams the streets aimlessly, he suddenly sees Luba, so he follows him to a parlor. When he gets to the door, a female voice asks him what he needs, so he asks for Nadira. When the woman tells him that he is in the wrong place, he asks for Luba. Inside, a woman leads Leo to a room, where he waits for Luba. When Luba arrives, he asks him about Nadira. Luba tells Leo that she probably dumped him. Luba tries to seduce Leo, so he resists and knocks over a lamp. Luba gets offended by his reaction and starts taunting him, saying Nadira has been hiding secrets from him. Akim and another bouncer named Gunther hear the noise and knock on the door. Luba tells them that Leo's not interested in his services, so the bouncers throw him out of the brothel. While he's at home, Leo receives a message that appears to be from Nadira, saying she's in the hacker's hall. While he searches for Nadira in the hacker's hall, Stu sees him on the security cameras and confronts him. Rob points a gun at him, telling him to leave. He shows them a picture of Nadira, but Stu tells him that they're not interested in her. While he tries to communicate with them using the scratch pad, he remembers that Nadira had written something down on the pad a few nights ago. He shades the paper with the pencil to find out what Nadira wrote and soon learns that Nadira scribbled the address of a man named Oswald. At a bowling range, Cactus tells Duck that he and his daughter, Josie, have already been recorded into the system to prepare them for their departure. Duck tells him that he'll be sticking around because he's enjoying his job installing body implants. When some high school girls catch Duck's attention, he starts making lewd comments about them. His remarks make Cactus feel uneasy, so he tells Duck to just keep bowling. When Duck mentions Josie, he gets upset and squeezes Duck's hand between the bowling balls. Leo goes to address on his scratch pad and knocks on the door. When Oswald opens it, Leo immediately enters the apartment and looks around. Leo comes across a room with numerous photos on display. Oswald guesses that Leo works for Nikki and takes some money, telling him that Nikki needs to get a better class of workers if he wants to keep his sideline running. As he browses through the images, Leo sees a picture with Nadira's name on it, although he can't see her face due to the lack of lighting. Oswald tells Leo that he already paid Nadira. However, Leo gets enraged when Oswald refers to Nadira as a thieving call girl. He shoves Oswald to the bed and stuffs the money inside his mouth, but he seems to be enjoying it, so he leaves. Later, he recalls taking an order from a man named Nicky at the bar the other night, so he surmises that Oswald must be referring to the same man. Leo soon receives a cryptic message with a photo of a man and a little girl on his phone, asking him if he knows them. At the parlor, Duck fools around with a girl named Conwal, pretending that she's underage. Conwal usually helps Cactus babysit Josie, but since she's occupied, he asks another woman named Tanya to watch over his daughter while he's away. Meanwhile, Leo is watching the parlor to see if Nikki turns up. When he sees Nikki riding a taxi, he takes Maxim's vintage car and attempts to drive it. He struggles at first, but he manages to start it. As he strives to follow the taxi, Leo swipes several cars and slams into a garbage truck. Soon, Leo sees Nikki getting out of the vehicle with Tanya and Josie. Leo follows them into a restaurant and notices Josie drawing, so he starts sketching on his pad. Nikki gets annoyed with Leo and tells Tanya to take Josie out of the restaurant. As they leave, Leo hands Josie a sketch of a bear in a cup. With Josie out of the way, Leo turns to Nikki and asks him about Nadira. Nikki claims that Nadira doesn't work for him. Leo shows him the dark photo with Nadira's name, but Nikki doesn't seem to know anything about it. Nikki tells Maxim's men to escort him out of the restaurant, so Leo asks him if Maxim knows about his sideline. Before leaving the restaurant, Leo throws the money Oswald gave him on Nikki's table. Leo gets frustrated by the lack of progress on his search for Nadira, but he gets an idea when he hears a man ordering food on his mobile phone. Leo soon places an order at a vending machine in the hopes of tracking down the number that sends him cryptic messages. When the machine asks for his number, he tries to type in the digits, but a man playing video games in the corner tells him that he's supposed to use his voice. Leo tells him that he's mute, so the man decides to help him and recites the number to the machine. The automated vending system is unable to track the phone, but it displays an address. When he goes to the address on the vending machine, a crossdresser approaches him. When they get inside the apartment, the crossdresser tells him that he's impressed that Leo was able to scare Nikki. He reveals that he once thought that Leo and Nadira were only trying to pull a disappearing act, but he is now convinced that Leo is really looking for her. He removes his wig, revealing that he's Luba. Leo realizes that Luba is also the woman in the dark picture. Luba tells him that he was moonlighting to help Nadira raise money. Luba is infuriated that Nadira took the money that he earned and left him without saying a word. He now fears that Maxim would come for him because of her sideline with Nikki. Leo pleads with Luba to help him find Nikki, but he shocks Leo with an electric device, knocking him unconscious. When he wakes up, Luba is gone. He sees the phone number of Nadira's mother on the refrigerator and tries calling it. Leo writes down the number and looks up the mother's address using a phone book. Cactus meets with Duck at a cafe to tell him that Maxim wants them to squeeze information out of Nikki. Cactus notes that Leo had been talking to Nikki, but Duck surmises that they only had small talk. Cactus deduces that Leo is looking for Nadira. Soon, Gunther and Akeem bring Nikki to Cactus' house so they could torture him for information. Maxim arrives and tells Cactus that his documents will be ready the next day. Maxim shows them the note that Leo wrote to Nikki and asks them to find out what kind of deal they have with each other. Duck and Cactus start preparing to torture Nikki as soon as Maxim leaves. After going through several phone books, Leo finally finds the address of Nadira's mother and immediately leaves his apartment to see her. Meanwhile, Cactus visits Jack's clinic and finds that he's hidden a camera in the dressing room to watch young girls change their clothes. When he finds Duck, Cactus tells him to stay away from Josie, noting that he saw the hidden camera. Duck claims that he just installed them, and he uses them for his job. Cactus doesn't believe him, so he hits him repeatedly and tells him to stop treating children in his clinic. Cactus threatens to expose him the moment he thinks that Duck is abusing young girls, so Duck promises to stop. Cactus soon receives a call from Maxim, who informs him that his documents are ready. When Leo reaches the apartment of Nadira's mother, he shows her a picture of Nadira, so she invites him in. The mother struggles to communicate with Leo as she doesn't speak English or German. When Leo shows her the message with the image of a man carrying a child, the mother tells him that the little girl is Nadira's daughter. She also notifies him that Cactus had taken Nadira by force. Back when Leo had taken Nadira to his workshop, Cactus was observing them. Cactus drugged their tea and waited until they were asleep. He took Nadira while she was unconscious and put her into his car. Meanwhile, Cactus and Duck go to the mall to celebrate Cactus' imminent departure. Cactus tells Duck that he's leaving the house to him so that he could take over the surgeries for Maxime. Duck invites him to go to the parlor, but Cactus says he has to fetch Josie first because Conwal is leaving early. As they walk out of the mall, Duck confesses that he's been sending messages to Leo to mess with him. Duck sends a message to Leo on their way to the parlor, telling him that Cactus is with Maxime at the bar. As Cactus waits in the parlor, he receives a call from Maxime, so he decides to take Josie with him to Maxime's bar instead of leaving her with a babysitter. Leo arrives at the bar using Maxime's car. The bouncers recognize the car and approach him, so Leo slams a car door into one of them and hits another with a carved wooden bedpost that he made. Inside the bar, he knocks out Akeem and Gunther while Maxime is in his office preparing Cactus documents. Leo soon reaches Maxime's office and hits Maxime with a statue as he was counting money. Leo takes Cactus's papers and leaves the bar. Cactus arrives and sees the mess, thinking that there has been a gang war. He sees Maxime lying on the floor and asks him what happened. Maxime warns him that Leo was looking for him and has taken his documents. Cactus hurries home and tells Duck to meet him at his house. Leo soon arrives at Cactus' house and breaks in using the wooden bedpost. When he gets to the basement, he sees Nikki on a gurney and sets him free. When Cactus arrives home, he takes Josie to her room and locks her in. He heads to the basement and pulls out a knife as he walks slowly towards the door. Back when Cactus kidnapped Nadira, he took her to the basement and wrapped a plastic bag over her head. He berates Nadira for attempting to leave with Josie. Cactus says he'll kill Nadira before he'd let her take Josie away from him. Nadira struggles to breathe as he continues to scold her. As Leo looks around in the basement, he comes across a locked wooden gate. Suddenly, he hears banging on the stairs and sees Nikki tumbling down. Cactus comes down and throws Leo the key to the gate. When he gets inside, he opens the freezer only to find that it's empty. However, he uncovers a body wrapped in plastic in the corner and finds out that it was Nadira. He carries Nadira's body and walks toward the stairs, but Cactus stops him. He puts Nadira's body down on the gurney and holds out his hands, waiting for Cactus to hit him. Cactus tries to beat him with the wooden post, but Leo fends off the attack. Cactus drops the bedpost to pull out his hunting knife and tries to stab Leo, but Leo blocks it and twists Cactus' arm to point the knife toward him. Leo slowly plunges the knife towards Cactus' neck until he lays flat on the ground. He removes the plastic covering Nadira's body and brings her outside the house. Duck soon arrives at Cactus' home and discovers Cactus bleeding on the floor. However, he refuses to help him and castigates him for killing Nadira. Duck leaves Cactus bleeding, saying that he should have treated him better. Duck takes Josie out of her room and takes her to the Jeep. Moments later, Duck sees Leo outside the house and knocks him out. He takes him back to his clinic and installs an electronic voice box in his throat. After stitching Leo's throat, Duck tells him to apologize for killing his cactus. Leo doesn't say a word, so he takes him out on a trip. When Leo wakes up inside the Jeep, Duck introduces Josie to him as he drives. When Duck stops by a restaurant to order some food, Josie shows him her attempt at drawing a bear on the sketch he gave her days ago. Duck keeps driving until they get to a bridge. He takes Leo to a bench and asks Leo if he recognizes the place. Duck discloses that they are at the bridge depicted in the picture of Nadira, adding that he was the one who took the photo. After lambasting Leo over the death of his partner, Duck breaks a lock on the bridge's guardrail and opens it. Duck asks Leo to apologize for killing Cactus once again, but Leo still refuses. Leo takes a deep breath and gives Duck a bear hug. He then walks toward the edge of the bridge while lifting Duck and jumps to water. Leo maintains his grip on Duck until he runs out of breath. When Duck stops breathing, Leo shoves him down and swims back to the surface. When Josie calls out to him from the bridge, he waves his hand, asking the child to stay back. He finally manages to use his voice to tell the child to stay away from the edge of the bridge. When Leo gets back up on the bridge, he tells Josie that he'll take her to her grandma. When they stop by a restaurant, Leo sees the spherical wood carving he gave Nadira on Josie's wrist. Josie smiles at Leo when he gives her another one. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.